Hello, everyone, and welcome to Podtroidvania, a podcast about gaming, the games we love, the games that inspire us, and the games that have shaped us to be the people we are today. Today, I have my great friend Brit. She's a cozy streamer, a wonderful person, and welcome. Thank you for being on the show today.
I'm so excited that you asked me to be on the podcast today.
I don't really have an agenda. I've just been winging it the past couple times, so we're just gonna go into it. I know cozy games are kind of like your thing. You are a published journalist, I should say. Technically, it's true, and that's the best kind of true.
I mean, Metacritic. Okay, I will say the website I do write for was Metacritic approved this year. So I guess in Metacritic's eyes, I am a published author.
Yes.
So I'll take that.
Yeah.
They quoted me on their Twitter. Was it this week?
We can call it X. I heard someone say that if we stop calling it Twitter, then they can't justify owning the trademark for it anymore, and they'll lose it. So let's just start calling. Let's just start calling it X.
Okay, yeah. So they quoted me on X this week for a video game I reviewed. So I mean, I guess we'll consider myself a
published journalist. Yeah, that's I work for the same site, Gamer Social Club. It's a great website. I wrote for a little bit until they decided they really wanted to be something, right? And they're like, oh, the requirements got a little bit too much for me at the time, but I'm really glad to see that they're doing really well. It's just a great site. I know you were just telling me about two games you were reviewing recently. Are you able to talk about those?
Yeah. So my things on both of them, the embargoes on both have been released. So I reviewed the game. First one was called High Above, which is about designing rooftop oasis. So whatever that looks like to you. Now it's kind of sandboxy. So basically you do what you want on this rooftop. So you make, whether you want to make a relaxing area, or I made a rooftop like theater where there was like a projector on the wall and cozy bean bags and plants, and so it's kind of open-ended in that. They give you some prompts that you can like attempt if you're stuck, which is really helpful because you get a sandbox and sometimes you're like
too much
thinking. So and the game is very beautiful in the sense of like it feels cartoony, but in the sense of like almost realistic cartoony. So it's definitely a game that I would put in my repertoire because you can continually come back to it. It's not like, well, I made it through the game and now there's no more content, I'm done. It's like each time you attempt a new build, it's different. And they've got a roadmap all figured out already to add more things. So definitely a game I would recommend. And the next one is Cleaning Up, which doesn't come out till the 15th. But it's a game where you're cleaning up. You get a giant vacuum cleaner to suck up all the garbage. And each level, you have 20 levels, and each level, some of them have reminiscent of video games you've played or TV shows you've watched. I saw the Friends coffee shop in there, the Office in there. You can get skins and hats for your character, which I saw. What was the game? I'm trying to remember. I've played it. It was a PlayStation exclusive, if I remember, where you're yarn.
Sackboy?
It might be.
Or was it Unraveled?
I don't think it was Unraveled. What was it? And it was not Unraveled, but it could have been a reference to Unraveled. But I feel like it was more of a reference to... Oh, it could have been Unraveled. Regardless, you're a yarn ball, and it was very cute. And I played both Unraveled and the other one. I think it was Sockboy. But it was nostalgic. It was cozy. You could turn it on and off, like hindrances. So if you wanted a timer, if you wanted penalties, you could turn them on or off. So it's just a very cozy game. Comes out on the 15th. Definitely recommend. And the other game that I was reviewed a couple weeks ago was called Hosey.
Yeah,
I
I saw
remember.
that.
Yes, I got the opportunity to early access that one, and I love that game so much. Just the ambiance, the just overall vibe.
Yeah.
100% recommend Hosey. I think I spent so much. I played through it almost twice because I played with a demo before I was given the opportunity, and then I played through it twice, and it was just a do it differently each time type of game. So definitely, if you like kind of open-ended level, like in a box type of open-ended where you're like,
Yeah.
you don't have to make executive decisions other than where you want to place something. So I definitely recommend Hosey. We've got Cleaning Up and then High Above. Definitely 3 games that just recently came out within the last month that I 100% recommend. Definitely ones to have to break out like whenever, because they're all playable whenever. So
Yeah, these look beautiful. I'm watching I pulled them up on Steam as you're talking about each one, and yeah, these look really, really cool.
And a lot of them are single and duo devs. So
I love that.
You've got to, and every single one of them came out without early access. They're just fully released, and they're beautiful. Like a few of them have their physics issues, but with a game like this, how do you not have a little bit of physics issues? And I
True.
mean, like something like a little bit of clipping with like trying to put down a rug after you've put down a whole bunch of furniture, which if you think about it in real life, are you putting down a rug after you've put down all your furniture?
You know what? I might because I don't think ahead. But it's normally no. But yeah, I get that. Yeah, especially like it's impressive. I'm always impressed by these like small teams or single developer like games and how just how like well put together and just like they're like a full package. And it's crazy like that. Like what was the one I was just looking at? High Above is I don't know I think you maybe mentioned this, but it's $8 right now on Steam, which is like sometimes like it's really nice to get a game that's like $10, regular price that you could just play forever, and it's so good. I mean,
yeah, and that is one of the solo devs.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah. That one looks like it's like crazy. Like, I think like with the tools we have today and like the passion that people have, and just we get some really good stuff. These indie games are awesome.
100%. I feel so, and I've said this in multiple spaces before. Indie games deserve their flowers in so many ways. How many times do these small indie games not get mentioned at big gaming award shows, despite putting probably sometimes double the hours or the less of manpower into some of them?
Yeah.
But it's the big games that are getting recognized, which they deserve their flowers too. It's not saying that these big games don't deserve their flowers, but so often these smaller games don't get recognized for the effort that they've put into them. And you can see these 3 games specifically, the love and care that just the detailing, the music, I believe in Hosey, the music was done by the same guy who did Stray.
Okay.
And it just It's just crazy details that mean so much, and especially in cozy games, because there's no action packed, you're not, gigantic storyline that you're working through. It's usually something smaller and more confined, and it doesn't give you much to work with. So these details mean so much in these cozy games, and to be fully submerged into a cozy game, like that's what you dream of, isn't it? Like when you pick up a game to relax with, you want every single one of like your senses to just kind of be entertained, if that makes
Yes,
sense.
it does. Yeah,
Um
everything comes together. There's so many different
mhm,
experiences. It just enhances
yeah.
the overall main like experience.
Yeah. And I spoke about Hosey is the sense of there's indoor and outdoor places where you can edit. And when you would swirl the camera inside to outside, you could just hear the difference of outside noise, but still hear the indoor. And indoor, you could still hear the outdoor, but it was a different volume. It was muffled. And a lot of people don't like, they would only pay attention to that if it wasn't there.
Yeah, that's a funny thing, right? Is when sound work is really good, sometimes you don't notice it,
Hmm.
and sometimes you really only notice it if it's really bad. And
Yes.
I think more
Hmm.
people should stop and like really focus on like
Hmm.
the sound effects and like the ambient noise and things in games,
Hmm.
because sometimes that stuff is just so good and it's overlooked so much. I've had
Hmm.
plenty of conversations with people that they're like, "Oh yeah, I never listen to the music in video games. I don't care about that stuff." It's like, I think you're probably
Hmm.
playing a lot of games that have really good music and sounds, and you're so into the game because of it, you don't even realize that it's good.
Yeah. Hmm. 100%. Or you don't notice those like birds chirping,
Hmm.
like background talking. Those are the things that like people are like, "Oh, I didn't notice that." But if it wasn't there, you'd hear dead silence and you'd be like, "What's ew?" Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah,
ugh, like I'm in a cafe. Shouldn't I hear like chatter, or
yeah,
shouldn't I hear like screeching of chairs and clattering and things like that? And when it's missing, mm, like it's
yeah.
just
That
awkward.
like when you're playing like Roller Coaster Tycoon, you can hear all the people like chatting and
Mhm.
laughing and like
Yeah,
and all that stuff. Like that's important. Like if
it
I
is.
feel like without it, like if I think someone should make a version of Roller Coaster Tycoon where they just remove that one thing, and then you'd
Mhm.
realize just how weird and like not boring, but like Roller Coaster Tycoon is not boring, but it's like without that like ambience, like it just doesn't feel the same.
Mhm. And I sometimes turn games off, like especially when I stream online. Sometimes I'll turn in-game music off, and specifically in bigger games like uh design games. Sims, House Flipper. Those are the games I turn the in-game music off. And it's not because it's bad, just because I feel like sometimes the repetition of music makes people like, okay, well, I'm turning this person down now.
Yeah,
Like, whereas like if I have like lo-fi on or something, people are more apt to stay. And it's not against anything in those games. It's just the person playing might love it and not notice it, but if you're watching someone play it, it's a different story.
hmm,
So, but I these sound designers in some of these games, like the game would not be as enjoyable or submersive if it wasn't for some of that stuff that happens. Um, I know that in a high above, you can turn certain sounds on and off, like
okay,
wind and birds. So if you don't like that stuff, the ability to turn them off is great. Um, but sound, yes.
and to circle back to the conversation about indie developers. Like, we're talking about this awesome sound design, and these are teams of like 1 and 2 people, like less than 5. Like they're doing all of this. Like, that game that I've been playing on stream, Islets, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, the music is just so good, the art's just so good," and like this is one guy that made all of it. The music, his brother made it. Like, it's 2 people. Like,
Wow.
it's some really talented people out there, and I'm glad that they're doing what they're doing, because it's just so good.
I wanna focus on someone like Eric Barone or Concerned Ape, who has made Stardew.
Yep.
And when he made it, he was solo. I know that I think he's added 1 or 2 people to his team now, to help with things. I think that's what I've heard.
Yeah, they have like he has like some people that help with like he had people help port it to mobile and stuff like that. Like, some of the stuff that's tedious and like requires specialized and like knowledge. But like the game itself, like, he is on it himself for the most part.
Yeah, and you think about that. I mean, that is a high bar. That is a very, very high bar. But if Eric Barone can do it, other people can do it too. And I think that should be a sense of, not like, well, I'll never live up to Eric Barone. Okay. Use him as inspiration to continue to do things like this. Like I said, high above, solo dev, and every single aspect of that game is just high quality. And again, another game that deserves their flowers, because it's just, I feel like I'm redundant sometimes when talking about these games, but if we talked about these games like we talked about a new PlayStation or Nintendo release, we would get more games that, we'd get more games.
We get,
and solo devs wouldn't stop at 1 because of, things like that. So if you have an indie game that you like, talk about it. Recommend it to people.
Put reviews out there. Anywhere that you can put a review out there for an indie game that you love, absolutely do it, because you don't even realize like how much a single review will help. Especially like if you get like a lot of people to do a couple of small things for one indie game, it really like brings it into the spotlight. And sometimes like you get a really good game that might not even, people just don't even know it exists. And it's a shame. You gotta if you find a game that you love, talk about it.
Even something as simple as doing a Steam review. A Steam review, which you were like, well, there's thousands of them already. Yeah, but there's people that go through and read those. There's people who cannot afford to buy 6-7 games a year. They buy 1 or 2. Yeah, 6-7.
I'm 39 years old, by the way. I am not the demographic for the 6-7 thing, but it's fine.
It's been popular in my house. My daughter's about to turn 7, so she walks around the house going 6-7.
Love that.
But just, there's people who sit and read reviews because they're not going to spend their money on a game that most people don't like. And that's another huge reason that you should write that review, because that person's going to read your review and be like, this person really enjoyed that game. Yeah, this is where I'm going to spend my money. Just do it. It'll take you 5 minutes. Even if it's, you're like, I really like this game. It had this, and this, XYZ. I'm done.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be like super wordy about it. It doesn't have to be paragraphs long. Just just showcase what it was good about the game, what could have maybe been improved even, because the developer will see that, so they can make patches and and fix stuff if something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it really helps because a lot of people are out there trying to enjoy this hobby, and in this economy, it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
yeah,
truly is, because it's not like they have a big corporation behind them funding them. They're probably
right.
doing this in between, doing family stuff, in between, um, their regular 9 to 5, because they're funding their own game. And it just means so much to do something. Like, it doesn't have to be a published review. It just, you know, so do it.
The
Do it.
Have you seen the developer of Peak, their philosophy on the pricing of their game? Did you see what they had said?
I haven't.
So
I do enjoy Peak, though.
I have this in front of me because it's just so funny. Because the words themselves, when you hear them, you're like, that doesn't make sense. But then when you really think about like what is being said, you're like, wow, that actually makes a lot of sense. And it makes me feel insane when I read it every time. So it's so this is a quote. So we've got these tiers, $12, that's $10, but $13 is $15, and we found that $8 is still $5, and it doesn't become $10. $7.99, that's $5, right? So $8 is going to $5 is the biggest differential we could find in pricing. So we found it very optimal. So the peak release at $7.99, right? So in their mind, $8 feels like $10, but $7.99 doesn't feel like $10. It feels more like $5. So by putting it just under $8, you're still spending $8, but it doesn't feel like you're spending $10.
I get that. You ever grown a grocery store and a lot of things are like 99. And you're like, oh, okay. It's $9.99. It's not $10.
Yeah.
It's $9.99.
Yeah.
Like, and you always feel like it's a deal.
It's just so funny.
I don't know. It's just mental gymnastics.
It is. It's just really funny. It's like a look into the human psyche and the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a funny way to think about it. But yeah, like crazy. Like, yeah, I've looked at games and been like $8. I don't know. But
I mean, Peak is on sale right now for $4.90 something cents, 95 cents, $4.95.
I had messaged you a while back asking if you had it because I grabbed it on Fanatical for like under $4. And it's like you can get it a lot of places. They're like it goes on sale like all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's a really fun game. And what I was reading not too long ago is that they are doing a huge update where you can set your difficulty, your hazards, what kind of things spawn in, and just a bunch of stuff like, which honestly, as someone who plays with other people, it's sometimes, despite the map changing daily, it feels this customization that is coming feels a way you can troll friends, because that's honestly the entire Peak game. When I play it, is for trolling friends.
Yeah, of course.
Like, oh yeah, I'll help you up. Psych, like, that type of stuff.
Yeah, there's the April Fool's thing where I don't know if they actually did it, but they said they added a thing so that when you go to reach for your friends, you actually kick them off the mountain or whatever. I don't know if that was like a real thing or what. It was just April Fool's joke, but
I haven't played in a minute. I have been taking a break from like multiplayer games, but it was a kick pat. Oh no, that was kick people. Oh, I'm reading one of their things on Steam and it says kick people, and then in parentheses, not physically. I meant kick people from the game, but but Peak is just crazy. They brought in Baby No Money for a weekend, and if you watch the concert, you got like some stuff. I will say it was a chaotic experience to watch Baby No Money, a giant Baby No Money in Peak characters, dance in the ocean. And he sang 3 songs. It was an experience, I will say. You know, uh, again, another small dev team, creating a really, really fun game.
They were, I don't know if you could call it controversy, but people were upset with them recently because they basically said like there will be a point soon where they're gonna stop making new content, like, and kind of like not like stop like supporting it, but kind of, I mean, they want to make new stuff, right? They want to make more other games. They made it a point to say like, we're not a live service developer. This is not a live service game. We want to add as much stuff as we can to it, but we also want to make other games. And so people are really mad. They're like, you should make stuff for this forever and never charge me for it. It's like, no, like, let them make something else. Peak will always exist. Like, you can still play it as it is. Like, they added far too much for how much money they charge people. So, like, they've done enough. Like, but yeah, it's just so funny because I think they were really nice about it. They could have been real, like, mean, but, like, they were really, like, they led with kindness in their message. Like, we really want to work on new games and bring you some more fun experiences. So this is what we had to choose. And it's just, I don't know, I think that's great. I think I'm excited to see what other games they release.
Yeah. And this goes back to the topic of, do you want to see more indie developers put out more games? You can't say shit like that.
Yeah, you can't. You can't say I want you to continuously add content to this one game, but also make other games. Like, they can't do that.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was allowed to swear. Whoops.
You can. There's no rule against
cool.
that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I already did it. Ask for forgiveness, I guess, not permission.
I know. I decided to not care about that. For anyone listening, I had a version of this podcast a while ago, years ago, with my friend Rob, and I wanted it to be like family friendly in a sense, so that if we accidentally did curse, I actually like went through listened to the entire podcast and listened to 4 curses and blocked them out. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that this time. A podcast is an hour long, and if I'm be editing something that's an hour long and going through the entire thing listening for curse words, it's gonna take all my time. So we're not gonna worry about it.
Yeah, I would edit actual play D&D podcasts that were like 2.5, 3 hours long.
Oof. Yeah.
And everyone was on a different microphone setting, so we would have to go through and fix those things.
Yep.
And it would take sometimes 20 hours a week to edit one podcast. And I wasn't doing it solo. Like, another person and I would take turns each week and edit it. But never again. Never again. This is what you get.
Yeah, I set this up in a way where my audio and the guest audio is separate channels, so I don't have to worry about like a lot of stuff. But I think I was doing this thing where, like, I don't know how many people were actually like physically watching the episodes the whole time. So I was doing a thing where, like, if someone, if the guest or myself were speaking and it felt like the thing that the person was saying was profound enough, I guess, I had like a separate timeline where I had just the person and like their little tag at the bottom with their name, and I put that as like the full screen for that small amount of time. And I tell you, like, going through an hour-long podcast, and like every time someone says something I think is interesting, that I would stop and I would disable that part of it and play the other part of the video, and it's a lot. So I think I'm just gonna paste it into DaVinci Resolve, put my intro and outro music things on the ends, and then
as long as there's no sussy stuff in between.
Yeah, I'll probably listen to the whole thing just to make sure that the audio is good, but
yeah,
that's it.
Podcasting and editing podcasts themselves is like, if you're going to actually go through something and edit, it's a special skill, because you tune out so fast if you listen to the same, like, depending on the topic, depending on what's going on, you can so easily just be like, okay, yeah. Or if it's your own voice, you're just like, who gave this person a microphone?
Yeah.
So I give a lot of credit for people who actually go through and sit and physically edit. Someone who's been in that chair, physically edit their entire podcast, regardless of the length, because damn, it's monotony. And I have a degree in video and like video editing and things like that, but even I'm like bored of it after a certain amount of time. Like, it just gets to you. And I don't know why I chose that as the degree. Maybe it's because I loved to do it at one time. At one time. And then I decided to do things on the internet where I had to do it for myself for free. And then
yeah. That changes things.
It does. When you have to do it for free. Yeah. It changes things sometimes.
You know, with podcasts specifically, I find that a lot of the ones where you have like people who, how do I say this without sounding weird? Like bigger YouTubers or like bigger people who have like more access to stuff, they record a podcast they have an actual producer sitting there with a switcher, and when someone's talking, they hit a button, the camera switches to that camera, and they edit everything. Everything is done as they're going, and they play the music, and they have like the little intro like animation clip or whatever with the music going, and the people are sitting there as it's playing, and they could hear it, and it cuts to them. Like, they do everything on the fly, and at the end they have a fully produced thing, and they just fire it out on the internet.
Yep.
And it's like, I'm one person, I have one guest, and then when this is done, I have to, like, I can't afford to have someone This podcast does not make any money. It's on its own channel, so it is not monetized. I have like 42 subscribers.
See, they edit it like it's a live TV show.
Yeah, exactly.
Like on the fly. And it's like, that's great for timing. Like, if you can afford someone who can help you do that on the fly, great. But if I'm over here pushing buttons while trying to interview a guest, you can tell that I'm not fully paying attention. Like, even streaming, which is basically like a live podcast, live, TV show. I'm over here pushing buttons on my Steam Deck to make things happen. Like little videos, little pop-ups, sounds.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that. When I'm saying something funny and I want like a fart noise or something, I'm actively reaching over my keyboard trying to make that fart noise, but I'm doing it.
Yeah, for me, I don't, I do it so rarely that like when I'm like, okay, I gotta do a thing, I'm like, I look over at it, I'm like, what button is it? I forgot where I put the button. Is it anytime I'm like, okay, like stream's done, whatever, and I say my thing that I want to end the stream, then I look over, I'm like, where's the end stream button to change the scene? And like, crap, I already said the thing. Like now I'm like scrambling. I'm like, okay, bye again. Finally find the button.
Yep. I had debated buying the Steam Deck XL, like the big one with all these buttons, and I'm like, no. I get that. I'm going to be so confused as what button does what that despite me thinking it's going to help, it's going to hinder me.
Yeah, they have a new one. Have you seen the Stream Deck Plus XL? And it's got 6 knobs. So like the Stream Deck Plus has the 4 knobs on the bottom. This has 6 knobs and it has 36 buttons or something like that. When they announced it and they showed it off, I thought it was a joke. It's just absurd. It is absurdly big.
And don't get me wrong, I love Elgato products. I love Elgato, from their microphones to their cameras, which my Stream Deck, I love Elgato products because they stand behind them. And like their just products are well quality. But that seems excessive. I've thought about doing the one with the knobs, like the 4 knobs and the things, because it gives me the same amount of buttons as I because I have the 15 button. But I just can't justify spending more money if things I don't like. This does its job. This is my second Stream Deck. I just wanted the only reason I got a new Stream Deck, and please, it's the consumerism got to me. Please, I wanted a white one to match my setup.
That's so real. That is so real though, because I was watching, I forget, I think maybe TikTok or something like that, and someone had. So I have this mic arm. It's the Rode PSA1 or something. Mm-hmm. There's a other version of this that's the Plus or whatever, and it's like a beefier setup, and it's got like a wrap that goes around this, so like it's you can't get your fingies caught in there. And so the new version of the Plus comes in like 8 different colors now. When I bought this one, this was the only one they were selling, and it's just black, no other colors. And I said somewhere, Blue Sky probably, I was like, I'm jealous of all these. Like, just 4 years ago when I started my YouTube channel, there was not even like 1% of the amount of options that people have today. Like they had a blue one that's nearly the same color as all the blues that I use for my branding. And I'm like, oh my God, but it's $100-something. Like, I can't, I don't need it.
Yeah.
I don't need it. Jeff, you don't need it. You don't need it, Jeff.
Yeah.
When you listen back at this, you don't need it.
And like with my Stream Deck, it wasn't like I have my other Stream Deck just lying around. Like I gave one to, I gave it to the other editor of the podcast at the time, Farles Barkley, which is another really cool streamer. You guys
love Farles.
Should check out. Yeah, he bikes around Chicago, which I love his streams. But because you can use the Stream Deck for shortcuts in your editing as well.
Yes, I do that.
Yeah, so I gave that to him, so when he edited our podcast, he could beep boop around too. So I didn't just fall into consumerism. I was giving it to someone else, and I just used the, wanting it in white. Is just, that was just a perk. Sure. But you talking about just the colors, like, yeah, you buy and you spend the money on a piece for them to come out with, like, not necessarily a better one, but a different color, and you're like, is this where I fall into consumerism today?
So speaking of Farrells, I just got a notification that he went live. He just went live. It's so weird.
It's Saturday. He's bike riding.
Yeah, it says it's 2026. Let's ride. So yeah, that's so funny.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely recommend checking out Farrells. Farrells Barkley
lives.
Is his username.
I've asked him, is it lives or lives? And he goes, I mean, let's use lives because live sounds weird.
I would have just said yes. Is it lives or lives? It's yes.
Yes.
Whatever you'd like it to be.
Yes. And he is outside of him streaming biking, he's made a lot of my pixel graphics for my channel. my coffee of the day, my be right back, starting soon screens. He's made all of them. They're pixel art, so he has to go in and paint with a pixel. And then Brandon Maxwell, who does the intro to Podtroidvania.
Yes. The intro that you will have heard before we started talking. Yeah.
Yep. He does the coffee. He made the coffee of the day song. Well, I wrote the lyrics, and sang, and he wrote the tune for
Okay.
my coffee of the day.
I love that.
But
Yeah, he's good.
yeah, I've used him for our our zombie podcast. I've actually used him for things for my IRL job too. I was like, "Hey, can you make some?" And so just these overlapping super cool people in our lives doing cool things. So, because I think you were the one who said, "Go get Brandon to do it." I think
Maybe.
it was you, and then Farrell's too, who was like, "I'll ask Brandon."
Yeah, it's funny
So,
because I think you were the one who told me about Brandon because I had said, "Oh, I'm looking for a song for the
mm-hmm,
podcast for the original podcast," and you're like, "Oh yeah, he does." At that time, he was doing live streams where he was making songs. I don't
mm-hmm,
think he does that anymore. But yeah, he I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, I'd like a song and I kind of want it like this." And the thing that he gave me, like he gave me just like a rough thing. And I was like, I
mm-hmm.
could just use this. Like
Yeah,
he's like, no, let me
mm-hmm,
clean it up. I'm like, okay, yeah, but like this is perfect. And you know,
yeah,
I gave him extra money because I was like, this is gonna be
yeah.
more than
He
worth it.
When we were doing a actual play podcast of um what was the game? Corrupted, which is a Last of Us esque TTRPG.
Okay.
I came to him with the idea of like, hey, I want an intro outro song that I can use that sounds like the intro to The Last of Us. Like that, but with lyrics.
Mm.
He's like, I got you. And this man, in a matter of like, I think from the time he gave me the rough to when it was finished was like 2 weeks. But he had lyrics that he's like, so I started writing a zombie musical.
Wait, wait, is that was that what the lyrics were, the zombie musical, or did he
He took some of the lyrics from his
outside of
zombie
that?
musical. Yeah, he took some of the lyrics from his zombie musical that never got finished and added them to the song that he wrote for us. And it's a full length song. And I asked him for intro outro. This man wrote a whole like produced song where he played every instrument and sang in it. And it was just such great quality. And uh and this isn't his full-time job either. He works in corporate. And uh,
That's
yeah.
so funny. You gotta love if someone says to you, "Okay, so I wrote a zombie musical." Like I immediately, I'm like, "Can we just like even if I didn't know that person, I'd be like, I'd like to be your friend, please." Like,
Mhm.
I love that. That's so
I
good.
When he said that, I wanted to be like, so can I see the script and can we have a table read?
Yeah,
Like The Office, where they all sit around and read Threat Level Midnight. That's
yeah.
what I wanted to happen of his musical. So,
I,
uh, but I don't know. He did such talented friends that, like, you and I have both come across in the last however long we've been kind of on this internet.
yeah,
Like, there's so many overlapping people, but there's also like, you know, uh, people that I'm like, hey, listen to this person. You're like, hey, do you want to talk to this? It's just, and I don't know. It's the internet is a cool place. Sometimes scary,
yeah.
but a lot of times very cool.
Every once in a while, you come across some great people.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Agree. Ugh.
I got to get
Oh.
back into streaming. I've just been my job. For the listeners out there, I work in IT. IT is pretty thankless and kind of rough sometimes. And there are times where there's nothing to do, and there are times where there's just too much to do, and there's never like
Mm-hmm.
a balanced moment where I have just enough
Mm-mm.
to where I'm not bored and I don't get burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get back to streaming. I wanted to do Tuesday and Thursday like I used to do, but I don't know if that's still gonna work out. But I, it's tough
It,
to do.
it's hard to juggle real life stuff and an online presence
Mm,
sometimes. Um, like I recently had to change my days just because I've taken on too much on days that I had already switched.
Yeah.
I switched because I got a job like outside of the house, and I had to switch days because the in-office day was the day I streamed.
Mm.
Now, we don't meet in the office at all. I'm not required to show up. So, I'm switching my days back because the day that I did stream, I recently started taking voice lessons. And those take up a huge chunk of the day. And so, just finding time to stream, and even like those who work 9 to 5 jobs at the end of their day, finding the energy
Yeah.
to sit down and stream, because it's not just turning on a camera. It's getting over, is your social battery there? Do you want to be in front of a camera? Because people can tell when you're not into it. People can
Yeah.
tell when you're not into it. And
Yes.
that's not a bad thing.
No.
I recently set the boundary that if I wasn't feeling it, or if a real life event came in the way, that I would choose those things before streaming. And this doesn't mean that my community or, anything I've built doesn't mean anything.
Mhm.
It just means they're a lower priority than my real life. And
I think you should also like. I know you know that you already know this, but a lot of streamers will apologize like thoroughly when they're like, oh, I got to cancel stream, I got to cancel stream. Like, I'm having personal issues or family issues or whatever. Like, most of the people that watch your streams or whatever regularly, they want to see you succeed and like be happy, be healthy, and like be your best version of you. Like, they want to see that. So when you say, hey, I'm sorry, I got to cancel stream, most people will say, hey, do what you got to do. We're here when you stream again. We'll be in the chat. Like, so the building the community with that expectation that sometimes I'm gonna have to not stream because of circumstances in my life. Like, people get it, Other people aren't joining your stream sometimes because they got stuff. So
yeah. And I think there should be that respect in that.
Yeah.
Like, if someone's like, I'm sorry, I've been MIA, I haven't been feeling well, or I've been busy, and you come back at them like, well, that's rude. Like,
no, yeah. No,
but I've seen streamers say that to people, and you're like, are you paying them to be here?
Oh, the streamer saying that to the viewer? No, we're not. I'm not. I would never. I would never. I would never not dare to do that. That's so ridiculous.
And,
yeah.
And I think that includes mods too. You cannot like. I appreciate when my mods are there. I have a slew of mods that are all friends, but I don't expect them to be there. The only person I expect to be there is the one I'm married to, and even then, he's working a full-time job at the same time I stream. So but you can't be mad at your mods when they don't show up or they're active all chat. You can't be mad at that unless you're paying them. You cannot be mad at, like, because everyone's got their stuff, everyone's got priorities and responsibilities. So I just, there's a lot of caveats in streaming, and it's not just turning on your camera and playing a game or talking. There's a lot that goes on behind it. And this is not to like toot our own horns. This is just to say, if you're thinking about streaming, there's a lot you have to consider. You don't have to have a camera, but it's nice when you do. You don't have to have a great quality mic, but it's nice when you do. You have to set boundaries and expectations for yourself. When it comes to letting yourself open up to people that are watching you, because don't dox yourself, because I've done it.
Me too. Recently.
I've done it. I've done it. I've said my last name. I've said things like that. There's just boundaries and expectations you have to set. To keep yourself safe, to keep others safe. I'm not going to be the guru that tells you everything you need to know about streaming because I'm not a professional by any means. How many times have I gone on to stream and Jeff, who is one of my mods, says to me, "Psst, you got to put on the game screen."
Yeah, change the screen.
Yeah, change the screen.
Or you're muted. Yeah.
Yep. Or you're muted. Yeah, the top failures of being a streamer. And you have to play, you have to let those fly, it happens. Yeah. How many times have we fought with technology and things like that when it comes to streaming? The time that I sat down for my birthday stream and my whole computer blue screened and wouldn't boot.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into streaming, and I give kudos that anyone who wants and starts, because it's not easy to start. It's not easy to, just put yourself out there, especially because, when you start streaming, you're only going to have one or two people sitting in your chat at first. And sometimes it's just talking to no one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To talking to no one. And sometimes you feel a little crazy.
Something it's hard to tell sometimes. Like Twitch and YouTube too, but it'll give you sometimes, if you're on the webpage, it'll give you a counter of how many people are viewing, but it's not always accurate. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just keep talking, because you may have a person that's sitting there that just never entered the chat. Mm-hmm. And they are probably really enjoying the fact that they're just getting to experience a person mm-hmm. doing something, and they just don't want to chat. And so mm-hmm. I'd say also, if you're starting to stream, post places, even if you don't think it's gonna get any traction, if you're on any kind of social media, just post, be like, hey, I'm doing this live stream thing, and then post your link. Mm-hmm. And you'd be surprised how many people, it might not be 50 people, but you probably mm-hmm. get 5 or 6 people who will join, and they may consistently join each time. But yeah.
And that's the thing you have to consider, is that, and it's not be grateful for what you have. It's more every number of people that are in your chat. I'm grateful that you just like me enough that you're sitting here for hours watching me do stupid shit on the internet. We all know that I have a few sussy quotes over on the internet that I'm and every sussy quote has been clipped by
me.
Jeff.
Me mostly.
Yes. Be grateful, and this is not be grateful. It's be grateful for those 1, 2, 20, 25, people that are there, and whether they're active in chat, there's times where I don't have people active in chat for 15 minutes, my chat's quiet, and it's not people aren't watching. I just have a ton of lurkers because of the games I play. They turn me on in their background, they use me as background noise, they use the game, the sound, whatever, to get through work. And that's why, and that's what continues to spur me to do what I do, is I'll have someone who's like, how's work? I got off a phone call and I came to hear your voice because that was stressful. Those comments alone continue to spur me to still be on the internet, to still make content, even, when I'm no one watches me, no one, blah. The 15 people that I see Tuesdays and Thursdays, but there's a constant 15 people in that stream. And to me, that's, I know it's a lot of the same people, but the fact that they continue to come back, and that they choose to spend their time with me, that's where they choose to put their lurk, means so much.
You can even imagine 16 people in a room with you. If I was in this office with 16 other people, there's no room for 16 people in here. So
yeah.
So it's gotta put that in perspective, right?
You do. You really do. And even if 2-3 other people are in that room with you, compared to, yourself by yourself, like, it just means a lot. And whether you think so or not, you're doing something, even if it's for yourself, even if you're just putting yourself out there to be able to like talk to people or talk on the fly. Like some like Jeff and I were talking beforehand about the difference between talking live and being recorded.
Yeah.
Just that different anxiety. Like, I'm usually an inverted person. Like, I don't really, I'm a homebody. I stay home. I don't really do, but on the internet, I'm crazy extroverted and goofy and whatever. But at home, I'm, so I'll end by saying, like, my rant by saying this: put yourself out there. Let us know if in the comments, hey, I stream. I'm looking to start streaming.
Oh yeah.
Like, let us know. Like,
yeah, put it in the comments of this video. It's going to be on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, you should be able to put comments on there and just say, I'm looking to start streaming. What are any tips or whatever? Yeah, I try to respond to every comment. I have the great ability right now that I don't get so many comments that I can respond to each person. So it's awesome that we can have these conversations. But put a comment in there. And if you are, I'll even say this, like, normally I'm not for self-promotion on stuff, but for this particular episode, if you are starting streaming, you have a link and everything, just put it in the comment. I'll check it out. Like, people watching this will check it out. So yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, if someone, like, if neither of us were given a chance by a few people that took a chance on us, like, there wouldn't be Ohshinebright and Jeff Troidvania.
Yeah.
So all you need is a few people in your corner. Like, just, sure, like, we became friends because of mutual friends, but like, there are people in both of our chats that just came out of thin air, it feels.
Yeah.
And now they're like parts of the parts of the community, and it's just like, dang, that's cool. This person formed out of nowhere, and the friendship is here. So, yeah.
It's hard. It's hard enough to make friends as an adult. So sometimes that's
all my
nice.
friends are on the internet. I'm not gonna lie, all my friends are on the internet.
Yeah, same. Yes. When you were talking about how there's big chunks of time where like no one's chatting and you're just doing your thing, that happens to me a lot too. For my streams, the first if maybe 30 minutes, like, chat's pretty active, and then like the rest of the stream, if I'm streaming for like 2 hours, the last hour and a half, there's like nobody talking in the chat, and I think everyone was just so like, I play games with like a lot of like super chill music. I play Metroidvanias, but like there's like people I feel like get mesmerized and they just kind of like they just kind of like let it go, or like they're doing stuff in the background where like they have just one stream on. It is just really nice to know that your presence brings people like calm, and it's great.
When I won't lie, the times you stream are like my evening, like coming down from like the day. So I put you on in the background, listen to you while I play my own single player game in like the background. And you can't take that as offense when people aren't chatting, but they're sitting in your chat. Like, there's nothing that requires someone to chat the entire time. Like, sure, you could be a chatting streamer and like that's what you thrive on, but also at the same time, like that's what happens in my chat too, is like a lot of people will come in at the beginning, say hi, yada yada, but you got to think about like what time of day it is for most people.
True.
Like, mine is work hours. Yours is after dinner, before bed, that gaming hour, and like
they got the after dinner sleepies.
Yes. But they've chosen us to use as like that presence. and that is that's a privilege. Like
Yes.
it's like, do you know how I don't know how it is with you and Mons, but like just existing in the same room together,
Yeah.
doing
Yep.
your own thing. Like that is one of my favorite things. Like that's what
Absolutely.
Simba and I love to do is like I'll be knitting and he'll be like doing something else, and like that is like our favorite time to spend way to spend time with each other. And I feel like that is what streaming is.
Yeah.
I'm playing one of my games and you're sitting doing whatever you need to do, like that body doubling type of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just
The
the fact that
parallel
they've
play
chosen
thing.
me to do that with
Yeah.
feels so, because I choose him to do it with, like that's why it feels so cool and
Mm.
feels like a privilege. A privilege. So yeah. I don't know. People are gonna be like, "That's freaking weird. Don't
The-
say that."
You,
No,
you know what?
no.
I don't care. You described something to me that I didn't really have a way to describe before, and yeah, it is like that. It's like it's what we do. I have like my little Steam Deck, my little handheld game, and like,
Mm-hmm.
Monica reads,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's what we do. And then like Luna's sleeping between my legs, and we just
Mm-hmm.
kind of sit there and we don't say anything to each other. And that
Yeah.
is what it's like with this with your favorite streamer. Is sometimes you don't have to be chatting. Sometimes the streamer doesn't have to be chatting. You could just be like that. Could be a person that you need a human presence, but you don't necessarily want socialization. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a gift.
Mm-hmm. And that is exactly, I think, that I continue going because I don't like solid, like the being alone. Like
Right?
I
Yeah.
like that other human in the room, like the person who runs errands with you. You don't really need them like to do the things with you. You just want that other person around because you like the companionship.
Yeah.
And that's what that's I think that's the huge description of how I feel like I stream. And like you said, you stream like just that, like I'm not looking for 700 people to come in and chat. Like I don't need that. It'd be cool. Don't get me wrong, it'd be cool, but I don't need that.
Mm.
Like yeah. That's why I love lurkers. I love lurkers.
I
Love
saw. I think
lurkers.
was it Bill Maher or something. I don't know. Someone said that they were like, "Oh, watching someone else play a video game is a waste of time." And well, for one, all forms of entertainment are a waste of time by definition. But um, like it's not just that though. Like it's everything we
Mm-hmm.
just described. It's a connection with a person, even if it's like a stranger that you just like share a common like
Mm-hmm.
like hobby with, like video games or whatever. Some people on Twitch don't even play games. Like Farls will do the bike riding thing, and
Mm-hmm.
there was a person that someone mentioned that like they dress like she dresses like she's in the 40s, and she has like a drink and she talks like like how people talked in the 40s, I guess. I don't know. And it's just like
Oh.
yeah, there's so many different experiences you can get on Twitch and on YouTube lives
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. So it's like it's not just games.
No. No. There's a little bit of something for everyone. Um, I started following a streamer that streamed Dead by Daylight. And at the time, I did not play Dead by Daylight, but I like this person's personality. Did I eventually pick up Dead by Daylight? Yes. But this person over the last year or so stopped playing. They don't even play it anymore at all. They picked up other variety games, etc., etc. And I still watch them 4 years later. And they talked about how, their viewers, like they don't have as many views as they once did when they played said game. He goes, but there's those few that stick around no matter what I'm playing.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, streamers need to remember that sure, they can play the games that are popular. Sure, they can play the games that are going to get a lot of viewers. But are they happy in that choice? Are they enjoying the game they're actually playing, or are they just playing it to get those views?
Because it's the popular game that people want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, like I've said before, that viewers can see if you're having a good time or not.
It's true.
And they pick up on that. Sure, I get mad at Sims. But I find like it is just the coziest. It is my chosen game. 1,500 hours, clocked 1,500 hours. There's many hours in it.
Yeah.
Outside of that, but have fun with it if you're gonna start. You know, don't. I don't know where I was going with that.
I randomly just got a notification from you on Discord. I think it's something.
Do I do something on Discord? Oh.
You sent me a message like an hour ago.
Yeah. It was when we were trying to get in this room. Yeah. I was like, I think it's your settings.
Yeah, I don't know why. It just popped up. It said now. I don't know. That's funny. Yeah, it's been about an hour. I want to try to keep these podcast episodes to be about an hour. But I really just thank you. I think this conversation was really great. I think we went back and forth on random stuff, but it was it was a great conversation, and thank you so much for being on the podcast. And it was like last.
Thanks so much for having me.
Last notice or whatever the actual phrase is. But
I'm flexible.
Yeah, I just I went to PAX and I did a bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of accessories to review from companies, and I had so much on my mind. And then it was like, I'm like, oh no, I need to do this podcast. So and had already been thinking about asking you because it's, you're a good friend, and we're, obviously this is a good episode. This conversation was great. So yeah, I appreciate you and appreciate everyone that's out there listening or watching. Like I said before, if you are getting into streaming and you already have a Twitch account or something, just leave your link and ask any questions in the comments. Hit the like button on there. It tells YouTube this is good and more people should see it, because I definitely need the help. Need to get this out there. It's not on my main channel, so it's still not getting a ton of visibility yet, but hopefully it will. But yeah, thank you everybody, and have a great day.
See ya.
Bye.